What's up? I'm back at it again, bringing you that tea. Bro, I'm in such a good mood today. I've filmed like 3 videos today. I'm onto it. I'm ready. If you haven't watched my last video of my hair, it's up here. You can click that. You can see my full hair transformation if you want to see the whole thing. Anyway, so as you can tell from the title, today is going to be another... It's another risky video, okay? That's the best way to describe it. It's another risky video. If you haven't guessed already from the title, it is about how my old boss, my most previous boss, violated me mentally and not really physically, mentally, but it was also sexually as well, but it wasn't physical. There was physical to other people there, but not me in particular. Just gonna get into that tea. I feel so weird talking about this because like I've never really gone into detail about this sort of stuff with anyone except for like the people I worked with. So yeah. Okay, so if you haven't watched my last video about how I lost a $20,000 greyhound, I go into a little bit of detail about my boss, my old boss, and you know what he was like, sort of thing. What is on my chin? What is that? What was that there before? Whoa, I get easily distracted. If you haven't watched that video, go watch it now. It is a very good video. It has a lot of tea. It's very entertaining, in my opinion. I have received a little bit of hype from some people at my old job. And from that hype, I now feel encouraged to tell more stories about my old boss, my old terrible boss. Let me just get into this whole sexual violation story because I feel like that's the thing that I probably need to disclose right away. So again, for those of you who don't know, I am a vet nurse, and at my old job I was just helping a vet with some of the things that they were doing, and one of the things that I had to help them with was holding a cat. And this cat was on like just a table, and I was holding the cat on the table, but I was kind of like, I was like leaning over. So say if this is the cat, I was holding it like this, and like I was leaning over on the table like this, so my ass was sticking out, but I was holding the cat's neck because we were getting blood. And the boss comes up behind me, like directly behind my ass, while I'm working, doing my job, helping a vet with blood, and he goes, "Hey Lauren, have you ever heard of the stinger?" I'm like, "No, what's a stinger? Like, what do you mean? What are you going on about?" As you do, because you know, you gotta, he's your boss, you gotta communicate. And then by this point, we've got the blood from the cat, but I'm still holding the cat because the vet's putting stuff in the blood in the tubes and whatever. So while I'm holding the cat, I turn around and look at him as he's explaining the stinger. And again, he's standing right near my ass, and he goes, it's when you flick. It's like when you flick. And he's like gesturing towards my ass, like pretending to flick my ass. And he's explaining that's what the stinger is when you flick someone's ass. I have never felt so violated by a workplace employer in my life. You can't just go up to people and pretend to smack their ass and call it the stinger or whatever and make a joke out of it. Like, we don't have that type of relationship. You are more than twice my age. You're my professional employer, and you are pretending to smack my ass in front of everyone. So he walks away after his brilliant joke, and I look at everyone, and everyone's looking at me. There's about 5 people in the room, and everyone's silent. And I just burst out and say, "I've never felt so violated in my life." And they completely agree with me. Like, the way he did it was so disgusting. Like, pretending to smack my ass in front of everyone while I'm in a vulnerable position holding a cat, like, and I can't turn around and slap him or whatever. I couldn't do that anyway because he's my employer. Like, yeah, this type of stuff happened all the time, and thank God he didn't actually ever physically touch me in that way, but he did to like other women in the workplace, even men. He'd like come up behind you and he'd zap you, like he'd zap under your armpits, or he'd like tickle you, and it was really disturbing to watch. Sometimes he'd even like walk up to colleagues, get down on the floor, and then pick out the hairs off their leg. Like, I know it's a joke, but like, he'll do it like at least 5 times a day, so it kind of gets old, and it's like kind of just inappropriate at the end of the day. Like, we're all trying to work, we're all trying to do our job. You're here trying to pick like hair out of our legs and tickle us and pretend to smack our asses. Like, what type of employer are you? The most he's ever done to me physically is he'd come up behind me and like touch my hair and like say something about my hair, or pretend to cut my hair with a piece of scissors or some clippers and be like and like pretend like he cut my hair. Like, yeah, cool, funny, haha, but after the 3 times it gets a bit old, to be honest. Like, you get a bit sick of it. So I kind of just stopped reacting to everything he did. Like, I stopped fake laughing, I stopped laughing to try and tell him that I'm kind of sick of it. I don't want you to do this to me anymore. So very quickly he realized that I wasn't really comfortable with him touching me, and before he even started tickling me, I made it very clear, like, I don't want to be tickled. Like, no thank you. Some of the other staff members like feel bad to say something and they'll just let him do it, and it's just like, oh man, the amount of people that could report him for the type of stuff he would get up to, it amazes me. I don't know how his business is still standing with this type of behavior. So not only did he do this to the staff members, he also did this to the clients. This is where it gets weird. Like, he would you know, do this exact same thing to clients. He would ask them if they're ticklish. He would come up behind them, pick out their hairs from their legs. Mostly males, but sometimes females as well. And sometimes he'll say really inappropriate things to female clients as well. Like, if someone's wearing a skirt and they like bend over and turn around, he'll say something to the nurse next to him, like, oh, look at that, or something like that. But it'll be very discreet but very obvious at the same time, so that the client doesn't notice but you do notice. It's just really inappropriate stuff like that. The sad thing is, if you don't kind of vibe with him or like laugh at his jokes, he kind of like ignores you, or like, he doesn't really treat you nicely. Like, he'll single you out sort of thing if you don't go along with what he wants or likes. Like, you won't be your favorite thing, and he'll, you know, he'll be a little bit condescending to you, which again is ridiculous. Like, not acceptable. Foundation done. What I just explained to you guys was kind of like the light-hearted side of who he is. Like, play around and he'll try to be fun and he'll try to like be positive. Like, that's probably the positive side of him in a way. Like, he'll be really nice and playful and all that sort of stuff again, but like, we don't really like it anyway. Like, just be normal, please. But the other side of him can be a bit scary. Like, he can switch from the drop of a hat to someone really happy having a joke with you to really serious yelling and swearing at you. Like, it goes from 1 to 100 very, very quickly with him. Hello, this is Lauren from the future, but I'm wearing the same clothes because it's the next day and they're not dirty. I'm also in the middle of doing henna freckles, so just ignore everything that's happening right here, but besides the point. I just wanted to pop in here and say that the video started to take a different turn as I started to talk about my resignation and how terrible it was and how mentally scarring and how depressed I got from the experience of resigning from this place. So it's kind of a different vibe to the video that I originally planned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video here and I'm going to make the rest of this video a separate video, just because it is a different story and it's kind of a different scenario. So I kind of thought if I don't cut it off now, it's going to turn out to be about half an hour long, which no one's going to stick around for. And this next video that I post about him, it's very close to home to me, and it's very personal. So I didn't want to just chuck it in at the end of this video. Like I didn't want to do that. So I thought it's probably better if we make a separate video, and you know, we can even get more content out of this. Yay! More content! Anyway, so I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. It was a bit weird, I don't know, it was a bit of a different video that I'm used to, but if you guys enjoy these videos, do let me know, because I've got so many stories. But yeah, so just wanted to end it here, because part 2, it's a lot, okay, it's a lot. Yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope that you're all smiling until your cheeks hurt, and I hope that you all have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next video. I'll see you in the next video. That's what I was meant to do. Okay, bye!